What is up, my friends? It has been way too long. I missed this. Anybody? We got 17 people on. Hopefully more will join. DN D1 902. Sony called you to thank you for the free publicity. Which Sony videos are you referring to? Is it the ones where I endlessly talk about the awesomeness of the SSCS5, or has it been the relentless uncovering and retelling of all the shady stuff they've done with CDs? Is that the one? Good evening to you, an analyst. What up? Brian Romska, my man. Brian, I thought you were a channel member. Are you not? Greetings from the west coast of Norway. What's up, my friend? All right, I had to check how much battery was on my camera. It's been a week, so I'm gonna put it out there. So my wife has breast cancer, and she, I guess it's 2 weeks ago, had surgery. Everything's good. Everything's fine. If you're going to get cancer, apparently this is the way you get cancer. So anyway, it has been a rough, 2 months plus, because it's been one doctor after another, one test after another. And, I try to keep it together for her and the family and everything, but good gravy. It's been a rough one. So anyway, she had some flooring people come over, and I told her, listen, if you have flooring people to come over to measure the house, chances are you're going to end up buying floors, or more importantly, I'm going to end up buying floors. However, they came over, they were running some deal. Of course they were. And she wanted floors. So I figured, you know what? She's battling cancer. She wants floors. I'm going to buy her floors. So anyway, I bought her floors, but they've been installing it since Monday. So they didn't finish till 10 o'clock Thursday night. I haven't shot a video. Well, actually, I shot some sponsor spots. This whole thing was just blank, and I still haven't put it back together. Anyhow, it's been a week. It's been a couple of months, and it all kind of just peaked out Thursday night. So anyway, I'm glad to be here, and a bunch of other stuff going on, which is good news, right? It's all good news, because even though having cancer is not good news, what's happened since she's had cancer has all been good news, all things considered. Can I have cancer? Get it this way. Anyway, yeah. So got some big news today. Besides the cancer, cancer's big news. But we got other big news, because it all just converged. Everything happened at once. Shellback in the chat. What's up? I missed out on that. What is the one where you go across the North Pole? So you have Shellback, you have Pollywog. I can't remember what's the one. Anyway, Brian says good way to look at it, I guess. There's no other way to look at it, man. I mean, I tell you what, when your wife has cancer, you better put on your best face, and you better keep it together, and you better be convincingly positive about everything to reassure her. So yeah, it's the only way we could look at it, or I could, because you can't, if I would have shown oh my God, I'm so scared, that would have destroyed her, right? So anyway, what up, TM 4000M? She will win over cancer. Everything's so she's going to go through a round of radiation. We've got to go to yet another doctor to do even more tests to determine if she can take like radiation through a pill or if she actually has to go through chemo. So we had a doctor's appointment yesterday. That doctor said basically she would be very surprised if she actually had to get chemo. So, but there's never any guarantees, right? So, anyhow, yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. She will beat it. Yeah, I'm convinced she's gonna kill it. Good morning, humans. Feliciano, my man. What type of cancer? Breast cancer. Yeah. Q Acoustics 3030 are just great speakers with Weem amp. I actually packed up the 3020Cs into a box last night. I got to get a bunch of stuff out of here because I took everything out of the office, and it's amazing how much stuff you can hide away in the office until you pull it all out and you have it spread out. Anyway. Jeff, cancer took my voice and tongue, but the rest of me seems intact. Keep a stiff upper lip. I've been, man. I've been doing it. I am so sorry to hear about that. I would rather lose the ability to speak in my voice than lose my ears. Yeah. I'd rather lose my sight than my ears. So, Jeff, that absolutely sucks. But you seem to, I mean, what can you do, right? I mean, you can't do anything. You can't freak out about it. You're just going to do what you're going to do. Oh, don't worry. Breast cancer is almost a 99% success rate of cure these days. Just hate that she, yeah, I appreciate that. But that would be a difficult thing telling a good buddy of mine whose wife died of breast cancer. His name's Greg. And I guess he was part of that 1%, which sucks because she was in her 40s with kids. All right, Shellback crossed the Equator. I guess I got lucky in a way. It was fun, quite an experience. We're still shipmates, brother. Just a slimy walk. All right. Hey, buddy. Missed the beginning. Sounds pretty serious. What's going on? My wife has cancer. That's all. Let's do this. Was it diagnosed before the second stage? It was. Yes. Yeah. She's very like stringent about mammograms each year. And so they found it. They found it early. Everything's good. Well, so far so good. Pathology came back yesterday. That's why I didn't want to talk about this until like it was mostly done. But I kind of went off into a bit of a tangent. I haven't really talked to anybody, so I figured I'll just talk to hundreds of people online. No, I've told a few people, but I didn't want to say anything like, I don't know, publicly, I guess, until like we knew. But that's not the important thing. The important thing is something really big happened. Are you ready for it? Yeah. A lot of people have been asking for this for a long time. And it took a long time for me to figure out the right way to do it. Because I could have done it 100 different ways and it would have been quick, it would have been easy, but I wanted it to be the best. Hey, man, super chat, Eric Baum, and a channel member. Anyway, here we go. You guys ready? Officially, Cam Coffee. This is month 1. It's the Colombian, like Columbia Records. It's Colombian coffee. So here's the deal. All right, there's a link in the description. You can go buy it right now. There's only 100 bags. Okay, so right now, initially, we're doing 100 bags. They're 12-ounce bags, but we're going to do 100 bags per month. Okay, if it blows up, then sure, we'll move that up to 150, 200, whatever it takes, right? But it's only going to be one flavor each month. And it's a different flavor each month. Sorry, different flavor each month. Great internet stuff, right? So there's 99 bags left because I drank one this morning. And here's the coolest thing, right? This coffee was roasted on Wednesday. Okay. So if you buy today, I'll ship it. Well, if I can today. If you buy today, I'll ship it today. So you can get a bag of coffee that was roasted less than a week ago. All right. The reason why we're doing one flavor each month is so that I can guarantee freshness, right? Which means if you buy 3 or 4 weeks from now, it's still good, right? It's not as good as like week 1, but it's still good. And so I've been working with this coffee place for a while, trying to figure this all out. And they were telling me that most of the stuff that you buy at a store has been sitting around for like 2, sometimes 6 months before anybody actually drinks it. So I'm like, all right, let's do this right. I don't want to have a bunch of coffee laying around. I want it to be fresh for everybody. And then each month, I want it to be a different flavor. So this is a single origin. Oh, all the stuff is like, I don't know what you call it, ethically sourced or whatever. Anyway, it's not like slave labor over there. So this place, they have a chain of coffee stores through the Midwest. They roast all their own beans, and they do like, I can't remember. It's a lot. It's not like crazy, but it's like a lot, and it's family run business, right? So link is in the description. Next month, though, we're gonna have a different flavor. Now you can also sign up for a monthly coffee club. It's the Cam Coffee Club, my friends, which means you will get the day it arrives. I will turn around anybody that is signed up for the coffee club. The day it arrives, it'll get shipped to you, which means it'll probably get to you within like 6 days. Obviously, this is just for folks that are in the US right now. I may try to figure something else out, but I don't know how to find coffee people anywhere else right now. I'm not saying it's impossible. Now, another thing is, it's not cheap. It is not cheap coffee. You can go get cheaper coffee from the store. It's not going to be as good, though. One thing I will say is this is incredible coffee. And this was not something that I just like did. I actually have a connection at this giant coffee place, right? One of my kids, so it's one of the moms at my kids' elementary. Her husband does a bunch of stuff. Anyway, they could have got me stuff and it would have been like way cheaper. I would have made way more money, but it's not as good. So, anyway, that's the deal. Oh, and so each month it's going to have a different sticker. So, black bag, try to make it look like a record, right? Record label. And you get another sticker in the box. So, you can create a collage. Go get some poster board for about $1.50 at Walmart. Every time you get a new coffee flavor in here, you take that sticker, you put it on the board. Also, if you sign up for the coffee club, you get a free mug. Mugs haven't gotten here yet, though. So you will get an exclusive Cam Coffee Club mug that are not available for purchase, just for the coffee club members. I buy specialty coffee from a coffee shop who roasts him by himself. There's a roasting date on each bag. I could do that. I could totally do that. They could totally do that. Yeah. If you want to, we can do that. Hey, yeah, I just quit coffee. Not that I drank it very much anyways, but congrats, man. That's perfect. Yeah, whole bean too right now. If this thing takes off, if there is some popularity to it, some demand, then I may do ground coffee. Ground coffee is a little bit harder though, because that's a lot more difficult to like maintain freshness. I hope you know the slimy would come. Oh, you're all good, brother. I didn't even think twice about it. What's the roast level? This is medium. So when this is also another difficult thing to do, right? Because I had to think about everybody. So it's a medium roast. If there's a huge demand for different roasts, then absolutely, I'll consider it. But right now, I wanted to do basically, I will be cherry picking the best stuff that they have to offer. And then they will be doing a roast that appeals to the majority of people. Like I said, if it takes off, we can do like really kind of obscure limited run stuff of some different stuff, different flavors and stuff. So yeah. But that's the deal. Coffee club, or you can just buy it. Got delivered yesterday, man. I'm telling you. So we have boxes everywhere because we're still putting everything back from the floors, and it was right outside my office, and it smelled like a coffee shop. I mean, it smells so good. So good. So good. So good. How about a shootout? SMSL AO300 versus LockG versus Fozzie ZA3 ZD3. I don't have the AO300 anymore or the LockG. I've been doing a massive purge of stuff out of here, which incidentally, there's a whole bunch of stuff. I'm trying to figure out I think I missed a super chat. What's your opinion on the ELAC Carina 243.4 is kind of the forgotten pair? Sub $1,500 ELAC. Andrew's only ribbon design where he was working in ELAC. I've heard him. I thought they were fantastic. I've never had them in though, so I couldn't really tell you in great detail what they sound like compared to anything else. I've heard them at shows. I was always really impressed with them. Yeah. Colombian, excellent for espresso. I know. I had 2 cups of it. Actually, I should have gotten another cup. There's the remnants of it. 2 cups of it. Americano. That's what I make. Americano. It's really good though. Very, very good. Yeah. And right now they're all going to be hand packaged by me. So when you open up your coffee, you can know that I had my dirty mitts all over it. Yeah. I'm about to good old cup of Joe. I don't blame you. No, they're 12-ounce bags. Again, this was not an easy thing to do. And when you buy good coffee and you're not buying like thousands of pounds of it, then it's expensive. And I need to make money. The Cam Coffee Club is not a charity. But I do think that it's fairly priced. And of any of the products that I've ever made, this is absolutely the lowest profit I've ever taken. Usually, like when I design a product or I do a product, I wouldn't say I design anything. When I have an idea for a product and I get the product, the consideration for the product is, well, I've got to make some money at it. So generally speaking, when I do put out a product, it's something that, has a decent margin. That is not the case with coffee. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to make some money, but it's $21 for a 12-ounce bag, I think. But I think it's worth it. And I get it. I mean, it's expensive. It supports the channel though. And if you think that's ridiculous, then totally understand. But they sell the same coffee. It's a different name because we're going to come up with fun names. They sell the same coffee though for just about what I sell it for. So they're making some good money, and people happily pay it. It's that good. So yeah. Recently found your channel and I'm loving your videos. I even recommended a few of my father-in-law. Wow, thank you, Chili Nelson. I like your name. Coffee maker should be 3 feet off the back wall and slightly towed in. I love this. You're absolutely right. If it's a little bit bright though, you can face it straight out in the room. What coffee? I'm late to the party. This coffee. the first coffee. This is the first flavor in the Cam Coffee Company. And you can do a Cam Coffee Club. If you do the Cam Coffee Club, then you get a free limited edition coffee mug that's not available to anybody else. So yeah. Ed G. Hey Ed, check it out. It happened. It's here. Check out this label. I am very proud of this label. I designed it myself. I couldn't quite get the bottom right, but at some point you just have to stop tweaking. Yeah. What's the average amount of times that Randy touches? Oh my goodness, a ton. A ton. I went to the pool and I didn't have my glasses on, and I kept doing this without my glasses on. Yeah. Americano, extra jolt. I love Americano. I don't put anything in it either. Oh my goodness. K-Cups. Ed G, my man, longtime patron, friend of the channel, going on and on about K-Cups. If this thing does well, we'll figure out K-Cups. As of right now, though, I got to do one thing. I got to do one thing somewhat well before I can start to branch out. But yes, Ed has brought up the K-Cups multiple times. Any comment on the Sharon Vega LA 165? I haven't had them in. I have meant to. Oh my gosh, I finally got something in. I might show it to you here. A little bit of preview. I've gotten a lot of requests for the Sherwin Vega. I was gonna buy him, but I haven't gotten around to it. I did get something in though that I bought, and it's ridiculous. 12 ounce, fair enough. Yeah, this is like an artisan style of a coffee, stuff that you would get like a farmer's market that people are doing, small batches. This is all small batches. They roast daily, actually, but they're not going to roast my stuff daily. We went back and forth. At one point, we were thinking about they were going to drop ship it, so it would legit be like roasted days before you got it. It just wasn't going to work out that way. It was going to put a big burden on them, and not knowing how this is all going to work out, I was just like, listen, send them here, bag them. I'll put the stickers on. I'll ship them. And at the very least, I got a bunch of coffee to drink. So yeah. What up, Wirehead? You're not late. It's okay. Specialty coffee is expensive all around the world, period. And I think I'm being super fair with the prices. I think they're being fair too. They like the channel. They liked what I'm doing. And I'm not taking a ton of profit on it. Smash the likes. Love the original pre-discount price. Oh yeah. You're getting a good deal on this. By the way, there's not very many of those left. I think only XL. We only have XLs in the t-shirts, which there's going to be a new t-shirt design coming out sometime soon. Audio file versus, I don't know what that is. This support the channel, and the coffee is there to let you enjoy it for hours at a time. And that's another thing, right? So I get like super chats are awesome, but like, what do people get out of it? I mean, I say your name, I answer questions and stuff like that, but I wanted something that people like, where you're not just giving money to me, like you're giving money to me and I'm giving you a really yummy product, like something that you can drink and enjoy. Look at the label here. I'll see if I can show one. I thought this was really clever. There was a couple of things I wanted to do differently, but the problem is I will continue to tweak and tweak and tweak until like I'll just keep spinning. Anyway, so there's actually track names on here. So the first track is Single Origin. Second track is The Altitude. Third is where it's sourced. And then fourth is Enjoy Responsibly. And at the bottom, you probably can't read it. Binge listen and fill yourself with happiness and coffee. Did I misspell that? How funny would that be if I misspelled it? I did not. 2 F's and 2 E's, right, in coffee? Yeah. I think. So, yeah. And I feel good. Like, I have no problem, like, selling people coffee because, man, they get something. They get something good. I've had a lot of people approach me and say, hey, do you want to collaborate on, like, an amplifier or anything like that, or a DAC or something? I'm just like, nah, it doesn't. That never, like, excited me. I would just feel weird, like, putting my name on an amplifier, you know? I will put my name on some coffee, though. I'll absolutely put my name on some coffee. Cans. What about them? No, that's never going to happen. I'm never going to do an amp. I'm never going to do headphones. I'm never going to do, which I've been approached on both. I was thinking about doing a linear power supply, and then I was like, but coffee, it just made sense. Found the channel recently. Thanks for all the good information. I'm now the proud owner of a cheap hi-fi stereo system purchased with a... Well, thank you very much. My music has never sounded better. Matt, thank you for that. That is the overall goal of this channel, is to get as many people into this hobby as possible. Brian said his wife will buy all the K-Cups. K-Cups, man. Alexander Napoli. Fidelity Imports only has a few pairs of Opera Prima 2015 speakers in stock. They're being heavily discounted. I ordered a pair a couple of days ago. They are fantastic. Yeah, they have a new one out to replace it. They're great speakers. I like them quite a bit. No need for K-Cups. Just got an automatic coffee maker. Make coffee without the insane amount of waste from K-Cups. Yeah, I have no thoughts on K-Cup. I just don't like them because I drink a lot of coffee each day. I just like the grinding. I like the smell. I like it. Espresso for me is kind of like vinyl. I like to be involved with the process. Sherwin Rega versus JBL, which is the winner? I couldn't tell you because I haven't heard a Sherwin Vega speaker in quite a while. And JBL has a bunch of different ones. So I couldn't tell you. I wish I could, but I can't. Small batch roasting gives a better taste than commercial batch stuff. Absolutely, man. I mean, this is next level. Did I cover up the... covered up the vent hole on this. I guess that's actually kind of a good thing. There's like one of those little vents that you can smell it with. Apparently, I covered it up with the sticker. The sticker. I used to love Sherman. Everyone loves Sherman Vega, man. They're great. Here we buy them in 9-ounce bags. Yeah. Luckily, I had a hard time with the 12. I really wanted to do the 16-ounce, but I couldn't do it, man. Can I use the 3010 for near field? Sure, of course. For near field, I like to have a really dynamic speaker. So the problem with near field listening is a lot of times you're not listening, obviously, at a very loud level. And there's a lot of times where a speaker really comes to life when it has some power running through it and gets to be really dynamic. So a lot of like near field speakers, I think, sound their best at lower volumes and they don't sound as good at higher volumes, and vice versa. So I will look for something that's super dynamic at low volumes. What's the problem with near field though? Most of the time, it's not going to sound good, loud, or quiet. Rarely. You get 60% out of it. Out of what? Rancho Relaxo. We get the satisfaction knowing we help the channel we enjoy. That's right. And you're getting something out of it. Do you think someone with mild tinnitus might be losing value pursuing high quality audio? Just curious because a lovely inner ear infection visited me and now I've got it to a small degree. I don't think so. I mean, I probably have it. Here's the cool thing about like being an audiophile. So I've heard this comment. Well, I have hearing loss, so it doesn't matter anyway. I don't need to buy good stuff. And I guess there can be some truth to that. But I will tell you this: when you listen intentionally for a long period of time, and you start to key in on specific details about the music, and then you start to notice, subtle dynamics and details and things like that. All of that is happening in your brain. And now obviously hearing goes through your brain. But what I'm saying is like you can train yourself to be a better listener. And when you train yourself to be a better listener, then you hear more details. And that's regardless of hearing loss. So everybody can hear better the more that they flex that muscle and put in the reps. So even though you have tinnitus, and obviously there's going to be some things that you don't hear on everything, where you're coming from, whatever baseline, you can always increase that baseline. And also you can also increase the volume too. That's what a hearing aid is. It's a amplifier, which boosts specific frequencies. So not impossible. And I think when people say, well, I've got hearing loss, you can still like discover great things about the music, even with hearing loss. Oh, my more K-Cup. You can get K-Cup reusable that allows you to use any ground coffee. Oh, that's cool. I use one almost every day. Well, there you go. Buy for First Watch, Bad Monkey, and other bad coffee. Very nice. Oh, I was very proud of this Wirehead. Extremely proud of it. You need a cam grinder that looks like a record spinning. Perfect. There's a lot of effort put into this, so I'm just glad it's here and it's real. But there'll be more to come if it does well. I drank Dark Horizons. I don't know that one. Dun, dun, dun. Is this up coffee by any chance? I don't know. Ed just texted me. That would be cool. Agreed. All right. What did Sully say? At Sully Con. You need you already said that. All right. How about a meme coin that looks like, I don't know what a meme coin is. Seems to be the new trend of making money. I don't know what that is. I'll do a challenge coin. I just put it up though. I found one of my old Nevada challenge coins. It's the Navy thing. I'm an object lesson, noise exposure to the damage, decrease my dynamic and frequency range. Oh yeah. Well, dude, I served on a submarine and grew up on a farm. I still think I have pretty decent hearing. Yeah. Hey, again, we can't just dismiss, okay, well, I have hearing damage, so everything's bad. I don't know. Like I said, I walked through refineries. Now, I try to take care of my hearing as much as I can, but when I was a kid, you don't think about it. Sometimes on the boat, I didn't really think about it. Do some retro sunglasses like Pizza Hat for Back to the Future. Those are cool. That would be kind of fun. The problem is, like, I don't want to put out crap, and there's so much crap. Even the coffee mugs that I've been trying to figure out, like, it's just endless cheap garbage. And I even told one manufacturer, and they couldn't even comprehend it because it was Chinese manufacturer. I'm not throwing shade at China manufacturing and all, because obviously they have the capabilities of making great stuff, but a lot of times they have to be really taken through the process, and sometimes other people have to handle production as far as QA and things like that. So that's a long way to say there's a ton of cheap coffee mugs out there that are available that don't look cheap, but they actually are cheap. And I was having a conversation with one of these manufacturers. I'm like, listen, I will pay. Like, this is not about the lowest price. I will pay for quality. And they couldn't figure it out. They're like, okay, well, no. Anyway. It's difficult. Looked into U.S. coffee mugs. They're either ultra cheap or so expensive that it doesn't even make sense. I just wish there was a middle ground. My coffee maker uses reusable K-cups. All right. I dig the bleached paper filters. I don't know what that is. Coffee will always be for old people, no matter how old I get. Agree. My goodness. Oof. Hey, look at that. John Brender, $1.99. Coffee, sign me up. It's a whole bean, I hope. It's in the description here. I'll put it right here. Yeah, here we go. Here we go, folks. Grab your coffee today. Sign up for the Cam Coffee Club. Whoops, started the wrong one. You'll get a free coffee mug that hasn't been made yet, but it's coming. So if you sign up for the coffee club, you get the mug sent to you. I actually bought the box. Do you know how? All right, so this is the box that comes in, which you never know until you know. And I actually got some advice on which one to get. Anyway, they're too big, but they will support a coffee mug and 2 bags of coffee. Everything is so expensive. Like that cardboard box, because I didn't want to get a crappy cardboard box either. That cardboard box is expensive. See, stickers are expensive. It's all expensive. Yeah. Will SMSL SU1 DAC make any sense to use with Yamaha AVR 4 stereo? Yeah, I think it will. Yeah, I do think it will. It depends. Like a lot of home theaters receivers do not sound very good for music. You can tweak it. There's a lot of DSP that you can go into. So you can absolutely tweak it. But like out of the box, I've never really liked a home theater receiver. Emotiva makes a killer home theater receiver that legit sounds like a 2-channel stereo. Marantz makes pretty good sounding receivers. At least the last one that I had, NR1711. Scott Walters, ever had an issue with customer service at Emotiva? I haven't, but I mean, I have a completely different like relationship with. I'm a YouTuber, so I mean, generally I talk to them, and they send me stuff. So I did, though, before the channel ever started, buy a few items from Emotiva. One of which, so I bought an integrated, and then at the time, I think it was the first generation of the mini amplifier. So I bought both of those at the same time, and then I did a video on both of them. But the plan always was I was going to keep the one I like better. So I ended up keeping the TA100, which I think is 2 generations ago, and then sent back the little mini. I mean, I had to pay for shipping, but I didn't have a problem with them. Are you having a problem with them, Scott? If they're, I might be able to help you out with that. Yeah. Rancho Relaxo, $21 plus shipping. Oh, he's asking the price. What is the shellback? I can't remember. Is that the equator? So if you cross the equator, you cross the North Pole, or if you do something else, then you get this. Really, you get relentlessly hazed for about 12 hours, and then you get a coin and a piece of paper that has your name on it. It's a Navy thing. Yay! I drink blackout coffee. Well, now you can drink Cam coffee, vintage Cam coffee, which doesn't mean old. Actually, this week, trying to drink black coffee out too, but it has whiskey in it. My Pioneer Elite paired with Pioneer Blu-ray player sounds great. I had a Pioneer Elite. Now, I didn't think it sounded great until I ran D-Rack. After I ran D-Rack, I thought it sounded pretty good. Before that, it was just pretty thin. I'll tell you the one that sounds terrible was Onkyo about 5 years ago. No good for music at all. At all. I can only imagine a Ninja Turtle for a shellback. Yeah. Martin, were you in the Navy? Colin Ungaro. I've heard you talk quite a bit about a number of ELAC speakers. The very minimal mentions by almost all reviewers makes me wonder why. Bad speakers, lack of promo. Which one are you talking about? The Carinas? I like the Carinas. I don't know, man. Like, you'd have to ask them. You know, two things happen when you're a YouTuber. One, you get reached out to after a while. Like, if somebody watches your channel, then people just reach out and want to send a lot of stuff. Generally speaking, it's new stuff. Or the YouTuber themselves will reach out to companies. I've done it both ways. But one of the things I love doing is discontinued stuff, because that's one of my bigger videos was when there was a discontinued speaker. It was a Wharfdale. I found it on my own too. So it was a Wharfdale 11 Diamond 11.2. Crazy. Somebody was selling it super cheap. And so that was the first video I did, and it blew up for that time, as far as like what the average views I would get. And so then I was like hooked on it. And I was in, so I wouldn't say I almost got in an argument. I try not to argue with anybody. But I was at Axpona, maybe Capital Audio Fest, and I was in a room. I'm not going to mention whose room. And I was talking to a guy, and we were talking about price or something. And I said something about I love doing videos on discontinued products. And he's like, why would you want to do a video on a discontinued product? I said, it's how I built my channel, man. Like, why wouldn't you want to like shout from the rooftops? Like, if this is a $1,500 speaker and now it's being discontinued and it's $750 or even lower, like, people need to know that. They can get a great speaker for not a ton of money. There was one that started with a P, can't remember, and he had a ribbon tweeter handled by MoFi Distribution, which handles Wharfdale and MoFi speakers, of course. I want to say Pangea, but it wasn't that. Piago. These things were great. Piano black finish, ribbon tweeter, sounded spectacular. They were marked down to $500. And I didn't even, so I was going to do a full video on them, but in another video, I mentioned them and they sold out that day. I mean, it's a heck of a deal, man. $500. Mm-hmm. No, Carinas. Yeah, I don't. If they have a return policy and you're interested, man, get them, pick them up, send them back if you don't love them. I've heard them multiple times. I always thought they're great, but you never know, right? You're in their room with their music, with their people, So I never know, because, until I hear something in a environment that I'm used to, I can't really say, yeah, this is a great speaker or not. I have a feeling it's a great speaker. They're having a huge memorial sale. I've reviewed the XT1s and I've got the XT2s and I've been listening to them for over a month now. And I thought I missed this, so I'll have to look. But that video is mostly done. And I was actually, thank you for saying this, kind of waiting around because they were marked down to like $1,200. And for us, what you're getting for $1,200 is bananas. They're big though. So they're not going to work for everybody. I usually prefer, if I have a floor stander, I usually prefer a smaller floor stander, but they sound really good. They're big though. Big. I am a MoFi dealer. The 888 are insane. I haven't heard those yet. New boombox trend with Bluetooth and cassette players. It's a disturbing development. I think it's fun. I think it's a lot of fun. It's cool. It's not for us, right? So the cassettes are for hipsters and for young kids, right? But that's cool because that's what got me into the hobby. And so even if it sounds like garbage, because all the cassette players these days, they don't have like I mean, they all have like, there's only a couple companies out there that make the cassette innards. None of them are very good. So like Dolby noise and all that. They nobody's making, well, metallic tape is not being made at scale anymore. People aren't releasing stuff on really high end tape. Um, it's a novelty. There's a lot of people. Okay. There's more people, more artists releasing new stuff on cassettes within the last 5 years than for a long time. But no one's taking it like as this is going to be the utmost infidelity. It's a cool thing. And I love it. I still, any new release that is available on cassette, I buy it. Not to listen to it, to put it on my shelf. Hector Valentine, $4.99. Thank you, my friend. You didn't have to travel on New York City subways during the 70s. I did not. No. Not a hipster and definitely not a young kid. LOL. Oh, hey, what up, Ed? Ed, we got coffee. It's new cheap Audio Man coffee. Every month, different flavor. Limited. I got a pair of ribbon tweeters. Sound like grabbing the ponytail of a. Oh my. Oh my. My dad spent years making awesome mixtapes from his huge LP collection. I hooked up the old Kenwood and haven't enjoyed music like this for a long time. I'm actually surprised how good it sounded. I did that. My girlfriend's dad at the time had hundreds of LPs, and we would sit there and a great time, man. So I'd record like the LPs with her. We just sit there and record music, hang out, listen to music. It was really cool. Tons of new cassette releases on, but there's a website that's only cassettes. I mentioned it in that cassette video I did. Yeah. The greatest contribution Sony made to the world of music was the Walkman, which got those boom boxes off the streets for good. At least that's what I thought at the time. You know, cassette is a very interesting thing, and if you haven't watched that video I did about cassettes, which I think it's done almost 400,000 views, which is insane to me. The cultural impact of cassettes was like unprecedented for any different type of music format prior to it, because it went like, and it really has to do with what you keyed in on here, was that it went mobile, right? And so everybody could take their music and have their own music and go wherever they wanted. But the other cool thing it did was it was so cheap, and there was such a proliferation of devices that could record right there. So now, if you're an aspiring band, you can sit there and record your music, right? It's not going to sound good at all, right? But you could still do it. And then with double cassettes and dubbing, all of a sudden, you could, for the first time, send something that was portable and cheap to a buddy. And that's how a ton of bands got started back then, is because of tape trading. So they didn't have to like play within the realms of, or the realm of, the big labels and like the gatekeeping to distributing music was that was the first time it was like cut out. And so tape trading became the thing. Bands that, weren't popular became popular, and the underground, they grew extremely loyal fan bases. And it all was because of the cassette. That's why I think the cassette is actually the most important physical format that's ever been released. Now we have to separate that out from like fidelity. I'm talking about impact, like cultural impact on bands, gatekeeping, all that stuff happened because of the cassette. All of it. I think it's really cool. Very cool. Very cool. Hold that boombox on your shoulder up to your ears and strut around the way the younger folk did. Yeah, people are really in here talking about Sharon Vega. I'll get it. I briefly talked to them at one time because somebody just bought the brand or the brand name. I mean, they're not making the speakers. I'm not saying that you can't make a good speaker that way. You can. That's pretty much. I mean, listen, if you have 10 grand, you can go to China and start your own audio company. You probably don't even need 10 grand. But what I'm saying is somebody either purchased the rights to that name or just bought the name outright. But it's not the same Sherwin Vega that used to be, from my understanding. So, yeah. Hey, did y'all hear? Who is it? Oh, Harman bought Sound United. Listen to this. Okay. Massimo spent $1.06 billion on Sound United. I can't remember the date. 2022, maybe? I can't remember. Yeah, it had to be 2022 or 2023. Anyway, it was a huge disaster. The founder and CEO ended up getting ousted because they had hostile takeovers. They lost $5 billion in market share, like right after that happened. Like everybody was freaking out on the board. Shareholders were freaking out. Like the worst decision that dude has ever made in business was buying Sound United. So it sold to Harman. Get this, I think for $350 million. $1 billion down to $3. I don't even think it's worth $350, but whatever. Somebody bought it. They lost 66% on that purchase. And everybody knew it too. They were just like waiting it out because almost immediately Massimo spun it off into a different P&L, into their consumer stuff. So even their consumer stuff wasn't worth what they paid for Massimo. The entirety of their consumer line, which didn't just include Sound United products, it included a bunch of medical products and stuff. It's crazy. Everybody knew they overpaid, and Harman just waited. All right, we'll just wait. We'll buy it for a quarter and a dime on the dollar. So yeah. There's something, the cassette tape ladders. I had always had issues too. Tape is an issue, even with VHS. Yeah, it is. It's an app. I think we should. It is, but it's also a marvel. Like if you think about how many moving parts were in this thing, and people are jogging with it. It's taking tumbles downstairs. Push play still works. I mean, CD players to a lesser extent. I'm always amazed when I see these large carousel CD players, like the 100 and 200 disc ones. The amount of moving parts and how good they were at manufacturing back then boggles my brain. Like if you took that design to somebody today and try to get it made, I don't think it's happening. Back then, though, it was just common. I would love to look up like how many parts were in a cassette player, moving parts, wear parts, motors, all that stuff they figured out. CD players too, moving parts in CD players. And they sold it, at a very low price. Very interesting. Not nearly as much 8-track tapes. I have an 8-track tape player in my car. Sold my CVD9s in college in 1990. Regret it to this day. They are very similar to the AT-15s. We all have stories like that. Like you think about something and you're just like, I don't use this anymore. I don't want it. And then 20 years later, you're like, oof. One of my really good friends and longtime patron got rid of some ADS speakers. I think he gave them away. And he spent the next 25 or 30 years trying to track down another pair. Very cool. SID certified. I don't know. Maybe. Look at that. Look at this. These stickers. One has your name. Come on now. One has your name on it. Now there we go. One has your name on it. Buy it. Stick it to the back of your laptop. Put it on a poster board. Put it on your car. Bumper sticker. You can have a whole 12 after the whole year. You can have 12 cam stickers, all of which are going to be uniquely designed. The idea I had initially, and the problem I have is I have good ideas, but I have no earthly idea how to make it become a reality. So the idea was you would have stickers, right? So each month you would get a different sticker, and then those stickers would all fit together. And then at the end of the year, you'd have this design. It's still doable, but at the amount of time that I had available to me, it wasn't doable. So I had to give up that. I still think it's a cool idea, but I couldn't move forward with it. Got a bag that has a music track embedded in the surface. So when they empty the coffee, you can cut out a single track. Oh my goodness. Oh man. I don't know how this would work for food grade, but they did it in cereal. I mean, obviously Kellogg's probably has runs probably a pretty tight ship. That would be so cool, right? Like the prizes that were in cereal boxes. I could throw it. We don't have to put it in the coffee. I'll just throw it in the box. I'll be fun. So I'll do that. I'll do some cheap, funny, weird little thing. It'll be a sticker and then something else. Maybe it could be just a handful of change that I have laying around. It's got bacteria all over it. Just old stuff I have laying around. I'll just throw in the box. You may get IEMs. You may get a coffee stained book of stamps. You never know. You might get what size is this? God, this is a terribly cheap wrench. I think this came with one of my daughter's toys. You may get a terribly cheap wrench. Good gravy, camera. What is your problem? It's funny is when I moved, could get this thing. I feel like I could bend this thing. Urgh. Could get that. You get a very, very dull paring knife. So whenever stuff goes down in my house and it messes with my routine, everything falls apart. I'm a very routine oriented person. I'm so ADHD that if it doesn't fall with what I do on a normal basis, it's just not happening. My wife's like, "Can you get me soda?" I'm like, "I'm not going to remember. You're going to have to text me because I will not remember." I'll walk into a store to get one thing. I'll get 4 other things and not get the thing I went to the store for. I had to default to my backup pocket knife because I've been doing work around here, and my good pocket knife, the one I use all the time, put it down somewhere. I have no idea where it's at. So yeah. Unpairing knife. Shipping 19. How is shipping $19? Is that really $19? There's no way. It should give you an option for maybe it's the box size. It should give you an option for UPS. I mean, because when I ship t-shirts, It gives you like four different options. If it is expensive, like that expensive, I'll change box sizes. I mean, technically, I could put it in a bag, but that probably wouldn't be very safe. Shipping to Antarctica. You just put a QR code to a secret cam playlist on the back. These are all great ideas, actually. You know what would be fun is if I found, like, remember cassette singles? I think CDs had CD singles too. What would be super cool is if I found like just a huge stash of new old stock cassette singles, and then you get a cassette like Linda Ronstadt cassette single just thrown in there, like Amy Grant cassette singles, just crazy stuff that nobody wanted. Pat Benatar cassette singles. All right, what was that idea? QR code to playlist. All right, somebody else had a good idea. To playlist. And then Wirehead, you had like a serial thing. That would be cool, like to do like little octopuses or something like that. I'll probably have to order like 1,000 of them though from China. Weem Ultra is Best Buy for 2025. I don't disagree. Oh, I got the Weem amp. Working on that video too. Billy Winsock. When I shipped you those Sith t-shirts, the shipping cost about half. Yeah. I don't blame you. Because the UK is not subsidizing shipping to the US like China is. I was really blown away when I learned like the whole minimus exemption that was going on. No idea that, like, I mean, I had heard that China was subsidizing some stuff, but not to that degree. Octopus spindle weight. That actually is on a list of stuff to do. So yeah. Yeah. What do you think of Weemamp? It's good. I mean, it's not like the greatest thing, but I think it's good. Oh, the new one. You're gonna have to watch the video. Remember Coke did a whole series of 3-inch mini? No, I didn't know that. That is super cool. I bet those are worth something these days. McNoodle Sailor $4.99. Thank you so much. I've gotten 2 pairs of speakers with confidence now, thanks to your videos. CS5s, nice. Klipsch RP 6000F Mark II. Very helpful, good sir. Thank you. Thank you. Actually, I have a pair of Klipsch RP 500M, the first gen, that are right there. Sitting on top of them are a pair of SVS Prime bookshelves, which I think are still current. Anyway, they're moving on to a new home. They're being rehomed. I don't know where yet. I've got to get all this stuff kind of consolidated and together, and then I got to figure out what I'm going to do with it, which is going to be given away. So people may pay for shipping, but it's going to go somewhere. Super high caffeine blend should be called 78. Nailed it. Oh my goodness. So when I did, all right, I didn't want to get too aggressive with the name on this one. So I'm like, Colombian. I almost did Colombian Records, but I'm a little bit scared of legal repercussions on that. So I just put Colombian in somewhat of a similar font. I wanted to call it Colombian Death Punch. I thought that was super funny. I'm like, no, like I have an opportunity here with a vintage record label. So I just put Colombian on it, but I wanted it to be Colombian Death Punch. I was thinking about Himalayan swine bark, but that can't be like a flavor of it. So anyway, I'm going to come up with some fun ideas. Colombian Death Punch. Had a bunch of 3-inch CD singles from RCA and a few other companies who sent them out to radio stations. Those would be fun to have. Dragon 3 Ancient. Have a nice weekend. Thank you. You too. Hold on. I'm getting texts. Shocker that the online store is not working. Won't let me order Only saying this in case others have the same issue. I'll keep trying. Um, variant can only be purchased with a selling plan. Oh, I had the most difficult time trying to figure this crap out, and it seems like I never did. Shopify is supposedly good, but I could not get this thing to work with the coffee club plan. And apparently it's not working. Colombian House blend. So it wasn't a blend though. And that's the thing. So because the word blend sounds really cool at the end of a lot of names, right? But it's not a blend because I wanted to go with a single origin coffee. So yeah, there will be some blends, but I like single origins. But we got there's a whole plan in place. We're really excited about it here at the Cheap Audio Man Studios. And when I say we, I mean me, because I'm going to be the one doing everything, which kind of stinks. And I was kind of freaking out with everything that's happened recently, all coming to a bit of a head. I was just like, I need somebody to help me do this crap, because I can either do crap like this, put speakers on shelves, organize stuff, and put coffee in boxes and get freaked out and angry and not be creative, or I can make videos. That I'm good at that. I'm not good at this logistics garbage. I'm not good at any of that. That's why I don't work in the corporate world. I'm not good at emails. I'm not good at like knowing what I went into the kitchen for, but I'm good at making videos. I'm good at writing jokes. I'm good at writing scripts. I'm good at that. I'm not good at any of this other garbage. I need someone to help me out. French hi-fi. Oh, that's good too. I think we're on to something. I don't think that's it, but I think that's a good idea. That's a good path to go down to. French. I'm not going to say what just went through my head. Yeah. The best product names in the UK are real ale beers. My favorite is Rhubarbra Streisand. I love it. Also like Bishop's Finger. Very good. Very good. All right. We're going to end this one. If you can, buy some coffee. It would be great. I'm going to try to figure out the coffee club deal. It makes me want to throw a coffee mug across the house because I wasted so much time trying to figure out Shopify. And that's the point I'm trying to make. Like, I lost time. I don't get that time back. And I spend every single minute doing something before I go to bed. And occasionally I'll watch a little bit of YouTube. But it makes me so mad when I waste time. And I wasted a lot of time on Shopify. But you should get yourself some wonderful, awesome Cam. The first, this is it. Is it inaugural? The first ever Cam coffee flavor, single origin, Colombian, roasted this week. So if you order it, we get it shipped. Like I'm going to go ship whatever comes in the next hour. So yeah. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel, making my dreams come true. I know I'm complaining a lot. It's when your wife has cancer. It's not easy for the kids and stuff. We didn't even tell the kids. Like, mommy was going to the doctor to get a procedure done. So yeah. Anyhow, that's it. Thank you so much. I'm excited about the coffee. It's really good. It's really good. I got to figure out a way if someone doesn't like it too, that they can send it back. My luck, there'll be some troll that buys like 100 bags of it and be like, I don't like any of it. Get free coffee. Anyway, y'all have a wonderful weekend. Build your store using AI coding. I wish I could, Terry. That would be really awesome. I don't know how to do any of that. I was trying to use AI to tell me. Shopify has their own AI. I'm like, I literally just want to offer this as a subscription. And then, so Shopify has one, or at least they say they have one. or you can like do another app that does a plugin into Shopify. That is super expensive. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to sell this much coffee. Like I'll make no money if I use one of their stupid plugins. I'll figure a way out to do it. It makes me so mad though. I wasted so much time this morning on it. Vertical Mamba. I like that. We can play with all sorts of stuff like woofer. I like the crazy band names though, like Colombian Death Punch. I just think that was gold. But there's a lot of times I think things are funny and other people don't. I gotta go. Thanks so much for all your support. I appreciate you. I love y'all. Thank you so much. Bye. 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 Bye.